On this exceptional episode of My Way, we discover the untapped Mission Beach and the Cassowary coast to see why lovers of nature are drawn to this region, including the pioneer who started it all.
This is the greatest untold story in conservation in Australia.
The artist committed to cassowaries.
I couldn't imagine being anywhere else.
The resilient diver sharing her passion for the reef.
No cares, no worries.
And the city slickers who went island hopping instead.
We go snorkeling on our days off.
That's all coming up on My Way.
It's a part of Australia that has more biodiversity than any other part of Australia. It's a tropical paradise. You have beautiful palm-clad sandy beaches, you have beautiful tropical islands. To our west, you can look and see beautiful tropical rainforest mountains and hills. Powerful, strong sunlight. Colours are vibrant. It's full of life and full of energy. It's a place that gives you energy.
In the heart of the Cassowary coast, just 2 hours south of Cairns, is Mission Beach, a place that many would describe as a paradise that was almost lost, if not for the efforts of one man.
This is the greatest untold story in conservation in Australia. I believe without John Buist, the Great Barrier Reef would not be what it is today. Hi, my name's Terry. This is in memory of John Buist, artist, conservationist and lover of beauty.
In 1941, John Buist joined the growing number of artists moving to tropical North Queensland to embrace and be inspired by the natural beauty of the region.
Right here, John fell in love, well, he'd already fallen in love with the beautiful Great Barrier Reef and the wet tropics rainforest, but what he did notice is people were not treating it well. Back then, we didn't know much about the natural world in Australia. There wasn't a lot of science being done to study our reef and rainforest. So John was really someone who saw a different part of this part of the world. He didn't see it for its being able to chop it down or mine it. He saw it as something that possibly will be something that people from all over the world or all over Australia will one day pay to come and see. Come on in. This is the meeting room. This is the campaign room, if you like.
In John's hand-built home, which came to be known as Ninny Rise, many artists, friends and activists met. Among them were the likes of poet Judith Wright and Prime Minister Harold Holt.
I can hear the conversations coming out of the walls with the Treasurer of Australia or the Prime Minister of Australia, with leading artists and poets sitting around a much bigger table than this having those conversations. And John's still with us. There he is there. To understand that at that time he saw the rainforest being felled, he realised that people were also after the reef as well. And in 1967, his wife Alison, while sitting on this veranda, looked in the local paper and saw a public notice that talked about a farmer's intention to mine the dead Ellison Reef. So he started a campaign, and this was the campaign headquarters. For the first time, somebody cared about the reef enough to take it to court, to use their own funds, to use their own time, to fight it. But it didn't go well to start with, because in the court, he was asked to disprove that this reef wasn't dead.
The years-long campaign saw John spend countless days with scientists studying the reef to prove its life and its value. Countless nights organising and strategising with activists and legal teams to fight the battle in court. And significant amounts of his own money to cover the cost of this very important work.
Inevitably, over a long period of time, with many other people helping, in 1981, the Great Barrier Reef became a World Heritage Area, and that would not allow anything like oil drilling to occur on it. People that knew John Buist said he was driven. He was very intelligent, very witty, very organised, a natural campaigner, and he always went for an end result. And it was really sad that John was never around to see the end result. But as I've said, I'm sure he's smiling down on us today.
If it hadn't been for the handful of people here in Mission Beach who stood up and said, "Not on my watch," the Great Barrier Reef would probably not be here.
There might be a big mine site out there by now if it wasn't for those pioneers in Mission Beach, of all places.
That's a huge commitment, you know, and that came out of the appreciation of the beauty of the place.
I think the best way to summarise John Buse's legacy is best summed up by a good friend of his and poet, Judith Wright, who in a memory plaque stated that John is a lover of beauty who fought that man and nature might survive.
For more info on John's legacy, head to cassowarycoasttourism.com.au. Still to come on this special episode of My Way, we meet the caretakers of Mission Beach and the Cassowary Coast, who are following in John's footsteps to keep this magical, natural region alive.